Hey, what's up, everybody? Here to bring another review. Some of the SH Figuarts Garo, the renewal version, or Shinkocchou Seihou, or the renewal body, whichever one you want to say it. But it's of Garo the Golden Knight, the Kouga version. So let's get started. First, I know that you noticed that this thing is gold. It's blinged out. It's a thing that obviously, if you have never watched Garo, you're like, why the hell is it so gold? Well, Garo's the Golden Knight, and this is the Kouga version, and it's absolutely stunning. Once you get a look at it, you're just sitting here like, wow, this thing is beautiful. The golden plates, the moving parts, it's all done really well to the point where even without the light, he has a very nice shine to it. And the reason why I'm gonna turn off the light is so that you can see, like, even under a minimal amount of light, it glows. It shines in the darkness. It really does. And if you haven't checked out Garo, I absolutely suggest that you do. Real quick, let's go over head to toe with the articulation. So real quick, the head actually moves back. It rotates left and right. It can actually look down just a little bit, but not as far as it can look up, as you clearly can see. The waist articulation is actually done really well. It's done in two parts, where it rotates here at the top, but not as much as you would like it to, but it can fold backwards. It can go a little forward. Now, Garo is limited by what he can do because it is a hefty and large armor. But what's really cool is that when you lift the arms up, the plates actually move as well with Garo. So it's made for real life movement, just like in the show, which is pretty dope. So when you want to do some supernatural stuff, it's definitely gonna look and feel the part. What's really cool is the arm articulation. It does have bicep swivel, and it does have a lower arm swivel as well. So you can actually swivel the arm here and as well as here. So you can actually move it in a couple places, which is pretty dope. The arm extends up about this far, so it's actually a long line that you can actually extend it. Even with the hefty armor, it can rotate forward and it can rotate back. But back here, as you see, it'll be hindered by this part here, so you cannot rotate all the way back. So that kind of sucks, but oh well. Like I said, you can actually rotate pretty far across, so you actually do a bunch of cool stuff. And what's really cool is that when you want to hold your when you want to hold your sword, the Garo, again, please excuse my thumb because I hurt myself. You can actually put the arms going forward. So if you want, as you see, the arms can actually cross over, which is pretty dope. A lot of figures can't do that, especially ones that are very heavily armored like Garo. So that's pretty dope. The legs actually go about this far apart, and that is because the back part of the leg actually extends back for the armor, so you can't get really far. But you can go forward. The knees are double jointed, hindered again by the armor. And the ankle pivot actually extends both inward and not far outward at all. But there is a toe pivot. Toe pivot is actually quite strong. And as you can see, there's a fanged piece right here to match the design of the Garo. So real quick, let's put Garo in a cool pose to make sure we can show off Garo doing his thing. So Garo looks really nice. As you can see, it's reflecting light. It looks really well. It shines. One thing I want to point out is you see the green gem here. The belt design is actually really nice. And one thing I really want to point out is the very nice green eyes, which for some reason you cannot see. Well, not for some reason, but because of all the shine, it's hard to see. But as you can see right there, there's a nice green eyes that focus very well and shine very well, even with all this gold. One thing I also want to point out, on the left fist, there is the Ruba, which when you watch the show, you'll notice that he wears it. So it actually shows up on the armor's knuckle, which is really, really cool. I like this Garo so damn much. Let's focus up. Let's get you at a point where you look good. And let's show off what Garo comes with. So real quick, we have his sheath with the Garo inside. It actually comes with a nice chain. That is actually a free-flowing chain. It's a real chain that you would actually use in chains. So what's really cool is that although it doesn't have the sword inside so you can remove the sheath, it is a part swapper. It is indeed still very, very nice, and I like it a lot. So when you want to remove it, you obviously have the actual sword, the Garo, which is really nice. It is inscribed and pretty accurate to the design of the show, which is really dope. Then you have two hands for holding the sheath, both left and right. So when you remove your sheath, when you remove the sword from the sheath, you actually have a hand dedicated to it. You have both left and right. Really dope stuff. I like that a lot. He does come with 2 closed fists, one for the left, one for the right. I already have one on him. There is a hand dedicated for holding the sword. And these are actually soft plastic, so you don't have to worry about stretching or breaking it. You can actually just wiggle it in. And it slides right in. Voila, we have a hand for holding swords. Then you see the ferocious hands or attack hands. These are not relaxed palms at all. These are hands for action. So you actually have 2 of these as well. And there are 2 hands for holding the sword. Again, I love this design for Garo. I think it's really dope. I'm so glad they did a renewal. I thought it was going to be plated with die cast. It's actually a thin plate-like material, which happens to be plated in a gold paint. But it's not chipping, so I don't know what they did to it, but I'm really enjoying it. It looks and feels nice. It has a lightweight feel to it. The figure holds up. This is something I honestly didn't expect or know how to. Well, I don't expect anything, but I didn't know what to expect from this or how to go about it. But having it in hand, it feels like a normal figure you can touch and play with all the time, which is really dope. Real quick, I'm going to compare him to other Garos that came previously. I don't have the first Garo anymore, but I do have a lot of the Garos that came out since then. And right here we have the Ryuga one. And as you can see, the gold paint is just not the same. The proportions are thinner. It is a very nice Garo. But as you can see, he somewhat feels smaller and a little bit, different. His armor is different. There's a collar. His head is a little smaller. The proportions are smaller. They're still both very nice Garos, but this one is just a work of art. It's beauty. They've outdone themselves here. It's really nice. Even with the Leon Koken Garo, and it's really dope because this is the anime Garo, and for every Garo you actually get a different interpretation of the armor, which I think is really cool. And last but not least, we have the Raiko version of the Garo. These are all different iterations of Garo that we've gotten over the years. Kouga being the first one TV series wise. So this is all really dope. But none of them are plated gold like he is. None of them are as nice as he is. So it's really dope. Real quick, we're going to compare him to other lines. So this is what he looks like next to a Articulated Icons Ninja. As you can see, from head to toe, point wise, he is taller. But if you're talking about where the eyes are, he is actually a bit smaller. So he's under Articulated Icons, but still overall very nice. It seems to be in scale with each other. Here we are with a 1000 Toys card. As you can see, they're around the same height, in the same range. Here he is next to Kamen Rider Build. A normal release. So they're around the same height. So tokusatsu wise, they're in the same size. So that works for SHF and Bandai. Here we are next to the Figma Lancer. Figma Lancer is actually a very good size next to him. Bigger, but still very good size. Here he is next to a Shaka Combatman, or Combatant, depending on how you Romanize it. Here he is next to a different type of renewal for Kamen Rider, which is Kamen Rider Kouga. And armor-wise, he is stacked against Kouga, but they are in the same height range. Next, we have a Marvel Legends Spider-Man, which we all know the Marvel Legends stuff is 6-inch scale and not 1/12 scale. And then we have a 1/12 scale Captain America for the domestic release stuff. Really nice. All in all, Garo kind of fits into his own universe stuff. But if you want him to work with other stuff, I highly think that he can. It's really nice stuff. In the meantime, guys, hope you found this informative. I hope you go and you check out Garo. It's really cool. It is slow, but it is really cool. And it's a little dated now, but still overall very nice. And in the meantime, I hope you do good, be good, drink your water. Later, guys.